All right, guys, welcome back. Another episode. Today, very fortunate to have SOLI Bailey in our Largo studio, Finley. We are with a pipe master,
Yeah.
former CT surfer, absolute madman, free surfer now.
Yeah.
And we've just come to learn. I think we just cold messaged you and said, "Hey, do you want to come on the pod this day, this time?" You're like, "Yep, sweet." We've just come to learn you've just pretty much been everywhere in the world and it just magically lined up. Usually we, for someone like yourself, you're not in the same spot for more than, a couple of months nowadays?
Yeah, it's been a crazy year. Thanks for having me down, lads. It's been the way this free surfing thing goes, like you see a swell, you go.
Yep.
Yeah, it's rad. There's no structure, there's no regiment, there's no events like told you're doing this on this date and whatnot. So it's really scat, but it's sick.
It's not easy, right?
Oh,
Everyone goes free surfing, taking the piss, just having the best time ever. Like, you have a good time, but there's actually hard work behind the scenes, right?
It's just different. Yeah, like in terms of like competitive surfing, you've really structured. You're like got this, training, preparing for that event.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas like behind the scenes, you're sort of thinking about like, how am I going to reinvent myself? What am I going to do next? Especially once you've done one thing or another thing. I can't imagine like these guys that have been doing it for way longer than I have. Like, how the fuck do you recreate something every year that's pretty much the same thing, just going and charging and chasing sick waves, but in a different way, So there's a little thought behind
the madness. Yeah, you seem to be doing very well. I feel like a lot of people would envy the surf trips that you get to go on, especially with Maps to Nowhere, which we'll get into.
We will
very shortly, but we definitely like to throw it back with our guests and just see or talk about their upbringing, because you can tell a lot by someone's upbringing. You grew up not far from here, 20 minutes away, Suffolk Park?
Yeah.
What was it like to grow up in Suffolk Park? Because it feels like for us, we just don't venture further than Lake Ainsworth.
No, that was as far north as I've been yesterday down at the horse track at Lennox.
Yeah.
That's as far, and then as far south as Northwall. That's really where I end up at. But 20-minute drive. We just literally had you down and you came down this morning. But growing up in Suffolk Park, like, you don't really associate that with the type of waves you've become well known for. Like, where do you get that just animalistic trait from that sort of is in your surfing now? Growing up surfing probably the pass, I'm assuming.
Yeah. Basically, that was the stomping grounds, the pass. Then moving on to like obviously Broken was right there next to Suffolk. That was like certain times a year that was pretty special.
Yeah.
But then you kind of move on to the back beaches, Tallows, Suffolk, and all that.
Mm-hmm.
And the next step was Lennox. That was pretty much like when I think about it, like I remember like back in the day, because Dad would always come down. Lennox to all of us is probably the marquee wave
For sure.
when it's on its day, like
Definitely.
around this whole area. And I remember him going like, "All right, we're going to go surf Lennox." And I was kind of like, "Fuck, Dad, I don't know. It's pretty gnarly." I'm sure you lads were the same at some point. You got dragged out the point off the rocks and it's pretty intimidating at that age. So, it's just a progression thing. And I think being fortunate enough to have traveled so much with sponsors through the years, and that was kind of just what progressed into, loving bigger waves, and surely didn't happen around home. That's for sure.
I can't see the pass getting your thrill meter up.
Behind the rock at the pass sometimes, right? There's been some slabs.
Yeah, for sure. There's definitely odd slab behind the rock on its day, but I think the thrill meter would definitely come from like kooks coming at you.
Sure, yeah.
I was going to say, you need a helmet, not from the reef or the bottom, but just from everyone else out there.
Probably most dangerous wave on the coast of Australia in terms of
People factor.
that and snapper. Snapper probably takes the cake, but
Yeah.
people factor, it's pretty wild.
Who was in your rat pack growing up? Who were you surfing with back when 10, 12, 13?
Yeah, so like I had a close group of mates from home that were, like that sort of Zach Skyring, Geordie Condon, heaps of lads that, you guys would all know, the world probably wouldn't know. But like Snelly was my age, Tom Snelly. Who else? Like, how old are you? You're like a year younger than me.
27.
Yeah, 27. Oh, you're a couple years younger.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, this is like pretty low key surf community in terms of like pro surfers that came out of Byron around my age.
Yeah.
Garrett was a few years older than me, and
I was going to say the years above would have been plethora of them.
Yeah.
Stigley, Garrett, Danny,
Yep.
so many other crew there. Were you kind of hanging out with them as well?
yeah, a little bit, yeah. Well, like kind of my generation was so little that I actually spent a lot of time on the Goldie because that was like a huge mecca for like, like, you know, trying to be a
Pro surfer.
surfer,
Yeah.
or whatever, you know.
Yeah.
So, yeah, heaps of time spent up there. Like, obviously, like Mitch Parko and all that. That were kind of like the generation that I spent up there with them. And then, yeah, like as I got a bit older, doing some trips with Garrett and Kieran and Willsey, and yeah.
Growing up as well, you mentioned like Tommy Snell before, who's one of our good mates.
Yeah.
Who was the guy coming through in your division when you were a young fella? Like, was it you, or was there guys that you were going, I can't beat them, like they're insane?
Man, I mean, Matt Banting was a year older than me,
Right.
but the fact that I still remember this after all these years, I only beat that fucker once. Once.
No one beat him, eh?
I only beat him once. I went on to win the event, and this is like in under 15 or 16. Like it was young, like maybe 14s or something.
Yeah.
Every other event, no one else won.
No.
He would win every event, beat everyone every single year in, year out. He was just that good at doing it. Like that confident in his system and just blasting people for six everywhere you went. Like
It's funny because Cooper Chapman, we
He
had
said
him
the
here
same thing.
2 weeks ago. He
Yeah.
said the same thing. He just, you can't get near him.
Yeah. Yeah. It was pretty much like, if we're talking about like back in the day, the Rusty Grom Fest and the Occy Grom, they were the two events, the marquee events that like, you know, if you won them, you were labeled like something out of Australia.
You're off to the races there.
Exactly. Yeah. And I think I won them years around the years I had to compete against Matt, being that we were like a year apart.
Yeah.
But every final pretty much that I remember was Creed McTaggart, Matt, Cooper, myself in that mix.
Yeah.
If they maybe not always all four of us, but like, you know, that was the kind of the mix in that age bracket that really, but he just, if he didn't make the final, you had a chance.
Yeah, right.
Everyone's celebrating. Right? Fuck yeah, he's out.
I'd love to get his, like the fact that everyone keeps bringing him up, I'd love to get his stats from his junior career. It'd just be insane.
It's insane. It would, it got, you know, when you start winning that much that like the fact that we're talking about it like that, like you don't, if he doesn't make the final, you're going to win. Like he's literally brainwashed the rest of the field that you're going to lose unless he's not there.
Maybe that's the secret, just getting in everyone's brains already before you've even surfed against them. Maybe that's it.
Kelly did it for 150 years.
Yeah.
Like,
There was nothing like when you're a Grom and you get the heat draws out of that, like, you know, a Rip Curl Grom search or something, and you're like quickly going through the draw for those names, like Matt, and you go, oh, no, I got him. Ah, fuck. There he is. Like, that was Ethan for me.
Yeah,
just every time, just, because we were good friends, it was like, I knew he was going to be there.
Yeah.
And like, I used to look at the heat draw and go, okay, like, well, he's up there at heat 4, I'm heat 16. We won't match up until the final or like semis or something. Sweet.
Yeah.
If we were ever close, I was almost, like you were saying, I was defeated before I even fucking started.
Gnarly.
He's just that good. But I just wanted to bring up my first ever proper good surfboard. You know when you go from like surfboards that are 6'2" when you're a grommy, which is fucking way too big, but you're frothing, yeah, fun. And then you get that first one that's like a 5 something, like 5'2", something like that. It was actually your surfboard. You were riding for Quickie, and Dad went and saw your dad, and he bought it off him. And I remember it. I was fucking frothing. 5'2", Almeric, and I was just like,
I think I actually remember this like vaguely ringing a bell now. He came down to Suffo, and I think we had a few boards there and for sale, and
picked him out.
Yeah,
and I remember it because Dad goes, once we bought it, he goes, oh, you got to take stickers off. And I was like, are you fucking kidding me, mate? Not a chance. And he's like, no, Soli's earned those. Like, you don't get to have those. And I was like, fuck that, mate. They're staying on. It took me about 2 weeks to take the Quickie sticker off. And then the electric sticker was like that sparkly, like clear sparkle.
Yeah.
I was like, Dad, there's no fucking way I'm taking that one off.
I remember those stickers, because they were like kind of like a limited edition, those electric ones. And I somehow got my hands on some. They were out in the industrial state factory there. John Loro actually was signed me up, and I remember getting some of them, and I was just frothing. I only had like 4, but they were instantly favorite boards because those stickers were on there.
And that was my pivotal moment where I went, fuck, like I actually like surfing.
I was going to say, like, you haven't just had us hoodwinked all those years you rode for Quicksilver. You just kept running the Quickie sticker after Soli's board.
Yeah, fuck, I just exposed myself. Never got sponsored by Quicksilver. No. Just kept going to Soli's bedroom and going to his drawer and getting all his stickers out. Nah, but I remember that just going, fuck, like this is so sick. It's like a pro board.
Yeah, 100%.
Like it's like going from your white belt in karate to fucking blue next or some shit, green belt, whatever it is. How did you get sponsored by Quickie? Kurt Jacobs put you on too.
Kurt Jacobs would have been Rusty Gromfest. Couldn't tell you the year, but I was sort of maybe 9 going on 10, and it was like the under 12s. And I lost in the semis, but like the fact that I was a couple of years under the bracket or whatever and got to the semis, that sort of like sparked a little bit. And we were chatting to the Rip Curl lads and Rusty and Quickie. But Quickie for me at that stage, like, you know, there was Kelly, Dane. It was sort of like.
It was the team, right?
It was the team. Yeah, exactly. It was just, you know, obviously just close. But like at that point, I still remember to this day, the first box of clothes turning up. I was in it actually, like the career came to the house and we missed it, and I was just flipping out at Dad. Fuck, Dad, we gotta go find it. And he's like calling him. We track him down, and we were in Woolies car park in Byron, and he gave it to me, and I couldn't even wait to get home. I'm like cutting it open, checking it all out, so frothing.
Yeah, it's the best thing ever as a girl, right?
Oh, it is. It's
getting some boardies or getting a wetty, you know. It's like that's as good as it gets.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it just gets. I mean, it's still the case these days with different things, you know, like new locations, surfing different waves, and it's such a fun adventure. Just you never stop being a girl, mate.
100%. Nah. How long were you on Team Quick for as well?
4 or 5 years, I think, from memory. Like I was about 15, I probably was about 15 years old, and Billabong had a really like fierce team, and they just brought out Bloodlines.
Yes, yeah.
And that sort of was what triggered me. Like back then, I just was sort of like, you know, Dad was sort of managing that whole where to go, what to do, and his theory behind it was like, you just want to be with the best surfers, going to the best locations of your generation, and the Bloodlines sort of thing at that point was what sort of pushed us to go there. I think there was a little bit of money involved, but it was more about the surfing side of things. Yeah. And then, onwards from there, a couple of years, and O'Neill for 10 years, which have been, that was the best decision I've ever made in my career, for sure. Going to O'Neill, they've been the best team to looking after me, and you know, some of the stuff I've got to do, and they kind of were the ones that gave me the opportunity to walk away from competitive surfing. Like I was sort of torn between the idea of unfinished business, because it was a short-lived tour career. Yeah. And slightly the unhappiness of competitive surfing. And yeah, that was like, dude, we've got this Maps to Nowhere thing going on. I don't know if you want to be a big part of it. And
was that a rhetorical question? Do you want to come fucking get tubed off your nut and just fucking have the best time ever? Yeah, we're still waiting for that call.
Yeah, I can't imagine it was a hard one for you, right?
Well, you know what? It wasn't, but it also was in the sense that I wasn't too sure, and I also didn't know that I was going to be getting barreled off my parking. No.
Sure.
Like, it was just like at that point, there was no evidence of what it was. You know, it was just like
concept.
Yeah, there was a concept there. Like, hey, we're going to go try and find new waves all over the world. Which, when you think about it, it's fucking mental. Yeah. But also, like, you know, for 10 or 12 years of my career, I'd just been dreaming of getting on this world tour and doing some damage on that tour. And I just, you know, I got there and didn't do it. And I think, as evidence shows, like, you need to sort of fight there for a few years before you start to really destroy that tour.
Yeah.
Well, you definitely put in a few years. What, 2014 to 2019? You qualified in 2019, correct? Yeah. Or 2018?
2018 you qualified. You did the 2019 season, but fair few QS years in the lead up to that, right?
Yeah, I think there was like 4 years of
it's a pretty good strike rate, really. Like
Yeah.
4 years of QS onto the tour. Like it's pretty impressive.
Yeah, there was a few years right at the start too. It was like a little bit. First year was like beginner's luck. I was missed by like 3 spots, and I was like, "Oh fuck, this is easy." And then the next year was pretty bad, and then the next year was even worse.
Yep.
And then I was like frustrated, and that last year was sort of the year that just bang clicked, and feels like a lifetime when you talk it through. But geez, it's quick.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. What about any particular event through those QS times of your life that stick out, or any like travel stories? Because there's such good times when you get to go around the world with your mates.
Oh, I was just saying this the other day. Like I remember so many of the travel moments more than like those heat wins, or there's definitely things that stick out, like event wins, obviously, and little heat moments that you remember. But yeah, the travels and the adventures is what really like, that's what lives with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any lost bags or missed flights or anything like that?
One, I was pretty good. I missed a couple of flights, like probably here and there. Nothing that like was too end of the world. But I was in Brazil. I just made a semis in the quarters or semis or quarters. And then we had a few beers that night or whatever. And I thought that I was flying out at midnight the next night.
Can see where this is going.
got home at it was like 11 o'clock flight, but I didn't see AM. I didn't even I just surfed a massive event, went and had beers, got home. Thank God I kind of was just so burnt out and just like went home at like 1 or something and not like stayed out till 3 and woke up at like 8:30, kind of like, hung and exhausted from a massive week of surfing. And I'm like, I wonder what the go is with this flight. Like, and I look, bang, I realize that I'm like an hour and a half from the airport, no way of getting there. And I need to be there in like an hour. And I had shit everywhere. Like there was boards everywhere. It was like, I'd just come in from surfing that semi-final and throwing my crap in the room, and a week of just living out of a hotel. Like it was the quickest I'd ever packed to get it. I made the flight just by the skin of my teeth.
Do you leave anything important behind, or is it you got it all?
Not that I know of. Maybe.
A few brain cells left.
Yeah, definitely a few brain cells.
We've definitely all left a few brain cells.
Absolutely. While we're on the QS though, because I want to touch on the event that probably, I don't know, in your opinion, did this one put you in the map, the 2017 Vulcan Pipe Pro? Is that the biggest moment for you in your career at that point?
Yeah, for sure. Like, in terms of the event was only a 3,000, but the status of the event is sort of where
100%.
That event kind of like, up until that point, it hadn't been won by anyone else other than the 4 guys. I think it was like Bruce, John, Kelly, and Jamie.
Yeah.
And I actually had an argument. It's like a really funny story behind it. It's probably on a podcast or 2 elsewhere, but I was like, it was right bang at start of the year in January.
Yep.
First small event out of the QS like ranking events that were coming up. And I was sort of like, no, I'm just going to hang here and like get ready for the challenge, like the 10,000s back in the day that started here in Newcastle or Manly or something.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, dude, you got to go. It's like, what do you mean? You just go and surf it. If you lose, the waves suck, just change your flight the next day, come home.
Yep.
But I was like, no, I just want to get my boards ready for these cutie small waves here and this and that. And he's like, nah. He's like, all right, I'll tell you what. If I was like, it's a waste of money if I have to change flights. And he's like, if you lose straight away, I'll change your flight and pay for it. Just go.
Right.
All right. Go over there. Stuck there for a week. The waves were really bad. I just went mountain bike riding for a week. Didn't surf once. Didn't pre-surf. Didn't even pre-surf the morning the waves finally got good. Ran down for my heat. My fins weren't screwed in. Paddled out. No. Went shit. Got halfway out. Swung around. Came in. Tommy Witts knew exactly. He was just there by chance and he knew exactly what I was tripping on.
Yeah.
Ran down with a fin key. Got out for my heat and then just went on a blinder in that event.
Well, I've got the people you beat. So for people at home that might not be familiar with this event, it's a QS 3000. So it's not one of the bigger ones, but as you said, there's only really at that point had been 4 people that had won it. And it's probably the one QS event that's maybe harder to win than a CT event because of the names that are in it. They have a complete Hawaiian wildcard round to start with, which is like just full of the heaviest hitters that surf pipe and backdoor. And then you go on this run through the event. So you beat or knocked out of the event. Josh Moniz, Kieran Jabeur, Cole Smith, John Florence, and then in the final you had Bruce Irons, Adriano de Souza, and you beat Griffin for the second time that event. So like pretty crazy list of names that you've overcome there. That's just the people you versed as well. There was other like crazy names in this event too. But from the quarterfinals onwards, you were kind of smoking everyone. Like, were you surprised at how well it was going for you?
I just was in like, I mean, everyone would have heard this before, but like in that flow state, that kind of like where it just becomes monotonous. Like I definitely was like baffled that I was beating such big names. I remember having a heat against John and Griffin and I do remember going into those heats going like, oh man, these are going to be like legit gnarly heats. And the waves were a little tricky that day too. Like they weren't perfect. They got better as the final came around, but for the most part, like they were really hard days to like pick the eyes out of it. Yeah. And when you get like drawing guys that are like pipeline specialists that have grown up there, it's, you know, that's their advantage for sure. Like they know every wave, every square inch of that reef. But you know, I think like if I had been too caught up in that, that's where you come unstuck for sure. You know, like it was just one of those events where like they just sort of like went in one ear and out the other and onto the next heat. It was pretty, geez, if you could find that sweet spot every event everywhere in the world, that's the goal. That's right the
meal
there.
Ticket right there.
Yeah.
How do you go getting waves during the free surfs? It's so notoriously fucked to try and catch waves. Are you someone that can kind of gel there and find, you know, little nooks and crannies and not get sent in?
Oh, look, I've never been sent in, but I'm like, I tread lightly. I always have. But like I said before, like that I didn't even surf before that event because it just kind of almost, for the most part, makes me frustrated. Unless it's like a crazy free surf day and you're just sort of in rhythm and you find a little window. But I think that was my third or fourth year surfing that pipe event. And the first year I did it, it was the year Kelly won where it was like 10 foot, just crazy, proper west lefts just running down. Yep. And I made it to the quarters that year. And before that event, I'd never surfed a proper pipe wave.
Right.
I'd spent, 8 years out there, but I'd never surfed a wave over 4 foot. I just knew where I knew where to sit. I knew what wave looked good, but I'd never stood up and won, which is crazy to think.
Fucked, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think Joel Vaughan was the same when he started his tour last year.
Jacko Baker said the same too, I think.
I only have one shot. That's when you got a rashy on, really.
It's gnarly.
You just got to learn. You got to learn without riding waves.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the easy part too. Once you know all the bits of the reef and what waves are going to do it and where you got to sit, riding it's sort of
the easy part.
Yeah, the crowd's the hard part.
The crowd is the hard part.
Well, in the final as well, we like touched on you smoking everyone. Like, so Griffin and Bruce didn't get out of the 2-point range in their scores that they got. Adriano needed a 9 to beat you. So you comboed Griffin, Bruce. Adriano needed like a 9, and you're just out in front, just going, oh, how good is this? You found a double pit. It was like kind of like pretty challenging final, and you found a wave with 2 barrels on it. Like, unbelievable.
Yeah. It was when I think back to it, it was a challenging event. And then the waves got really good halfway through that final. Like they just clicked. And I think it kind of threw everyone off.
Yeah.
Like it went from like kind of a fun 6 foot plus day with like sketchy, like lefts and rights. And then I specifically remember like a crazy left coming through in that heat, where like I'm pretty sure it broke someone's leash, maybe Griffin's or and it washed Bruce in, and I just had clipped the edge of it because that might have even been before anyone stood up, and the reason that Adrian and I got out through the lineup is because we were in a crazy paddle battle. Like he wanted the right, and I was just like, fuck this guy, like I'm taking the right, like, I'm taking the inside for the right. I don't care if I sit on the. That's kind of how I competed too. Like it was like I wanted what I wanted and fuck the rest of them.
Yeah.
That's epic.
To the point where we actually paddle battled like to Beach Park, and I got so frustrated because he was like just like kept battering me, and I just fucking pulled the biggest left hand. It doesn't matter anymore. They can't find me. I just punched him in the back of the head, just like battling him over to the thing, and he's sort of like, and that actually kind of calmed it down. Like it was more of just like a paddle, like fuck you,
a bit wider.
it was a bit wider, but the intention was there. And it was just like that frustration of just like, fuck, this guy's just a fucking pest. But like he would probably be thinking the same thing for me. That's the nature of competing.
Yeah.
And that, to me, that was kind of where it was won and lost, you know? Like I sort of like had that like, and then I think I actually went a crappy wave in the end. I won the battle and then took a crappy wave, and then that set came, and it just, you know, fell into rhythm. And definitely one of those memories, the travel memories and the event heat wins here and there, and that one's just like, you know,
cherry on top. Amazing. 2018. So that was obviously 2017. We go to 2018. Fairly like consistent year, not too many big results. So like you made a couple of heats here and there, and you get to Hawaii, and you get yourself a quarterfinal finish at Haleiwa. Like you were in the mix because of that, but you needed a huge result going into Sunset to actually ice your spot. I feel like a lot of people would put Sunset as the place they'd least like to try and qualify at. Is that the same for you, or were you kind of like, I feel better here than I would at a beachy?
Yeah, so all the years I'd tried to qualify, I just knew I needed to get it done at the beaches.
Yeah.
Because I knew that Hawaii was like, that was my spot.
Yeah.
Like I knew that I was going to turn up there, and it was harder for people than it was for me. You know?
Yes, yeah.
If I did my job right.
Yeah.
I just always felt comfortable. Even today, like I just feel comfortable once it's 6 foot plus. I seem to be able to read an ocean better. I can see what's going on. As soon as I'm like looking for this little like double up that's I'm going, where the fuck, what is that for me? I don't want to surf that, you know? Like, so that was sort of, but yeah, I remember like actually coming out of Japan, Shiba, you know, just gone on the streak of losing events that year.
Yeah.
And I called Kaney and I was like, I'm done. It was like, I'm so sick of this grind. Like, and some people had it more than, like, the reason I had quit is just because it just got to me. Like, losing just got to me too much. Like, I just was like, I loved winning, but I just hated losing, and I just sometimes couldn't get out of that rut, personally. And they were like, just see the year out. You're halfway through the year, and I was like, don't put any pressure on it. And that was the difference. That was the changing point. I think I went to Portugal, got like a quarters or the rounds before quarters or whatever.
Couple heats, yeah.
Couple heats, and then same thing in Brazil or whatever, and then bang in Hawaii.
Yeah. So correct me if I'm wrong, but you don't really know what result you need, right? It was more like there's chess pieces around you that needed to fall. You just knew you needed a big one.
Yeah.
Is that right? So you start progressing through the draw. Going to round 4 heat against Jaddy Andre, Sebastian Zaitz, and Jack Robinson, which is a pretty gnarly heat at Sunset. Like Jaddy, doesn't really matter where you put that bloke, he'll do all right.
He's just a machine.
He is in the and then
machine.
And then Jackie Robbo is, I mean, he doesn't really need an intro to Sunset. He's probably the best surfer ever out there, I'd say, apart him and John, hold that title. And Seabass is just a unit as well. You get through that one. Are you starting at that point to dare to dream? You're like, oh, like I'm in the quarters here again. Like,
yeah, I think it was super tricky because I'd been in that position a few times where like you needed to get a result. And I found when the years prior, like when I started thinking about like where I needed to get to, that's when it just all crumbled underneath your feet. You're just like, you just sort of, your mind comes off that next heat and the 2 waves you need to just pick out of that 20 or 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Versus the sort of like end result, which is obviously qualifying. So yeah, like the surfers and the sort of event in itself didn't really factor in. It was just like getting out there in the ocean. And that's the one thing I think about Sunset is like, it's actually probably when you strip it all back, that's all you it's such a big playing field. There's no competitiveness to it at all. You're just literally competing with the ocean.
Yeah.
It's a battle just in a free surf, let alone, you know, a 30-minute time pressure.
It's even hard enough to caddy.
Yeah.
I caddied there and I had leg ropes, like one leg rope on for someone's backup board and another leg rope for another backup board. So you get a cleanup set. You're like, it's like those fucking, those wind chimes, like ding, dong, ding. It's like that underwater, and you're just like, fuck me, you can't even sit out there in the channel, let alone surf a heat there and try and pick the eyes out of it.
Yeah, and I love Melling. So he's another one that used to do, I mean, what you did. Like you get to sunset and you go, well, this is where I'm a shot. But he broke it down really well. And I can't remember if he came up with this or someone told him, but it was like at sunset specifically, someone's going to have a melt. It's going to be someone who has a couple twos at the end of the heat. Someone's going to kill it. And you've just got to beat the other guy in the heat that's going okay, you know? Like, you can be the guy that kills it, you just don't want to be the guy that is sucking down the bottom, you know? Yeah. So, does that something similar that you found as well?
For sure. It was so, I mean, even with pipe and Haleiwa, it's just such time management.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, like I found at pipe, if your ego got involved, if you're like, the years I didn't do very good, it was because like, I wanted to like show the world how good I was out there.
Yeah.
You know, in that sense. And I feel like that's probably like the detriment to like a lot of the really good pipe socials that live there. Mm-hmm. They're so good out there and they know exactly what they want to do that they're kind of like 10s are on the cards for them.
Yeah.
You know, they're not thinking about making a heat with 2 5s.
Yeah.
They're thinking about like, and the years that I'd done really well at the beginning, I was just so fucking scared and not sure what was going on that I was like, that was what got you through the heat. Mm. And the same with like sunset is you know, you're just like, you're one mistake away from losing that heat at any point. Like you get a wash through set on the head, you go a little too deep, you fall on the first turn, you're going, that's 10 minutes. That's if shit goes wrong, that's 10, 15 minutes. It's pretty hard to come back from a heat with like 10 minutes to go or 15 minutes to go if you haven't already got a 5 or a 6 on the board.
And it was Mac
too.
Yeah, it was Mac in that year too, right? It was pretty big. It was pretty solid.
Yeah, it was.
You get into the semis and you got Jack Freestone, Carlos Munez. Quarters. Jack Freestone, Carlos Munez. And you make it your best result of the year. You progress through that one. So you're into the semis. At this stage, did you know you were on? Or like when you made the semis? Or was there still some pieces to fall?
Oh, I think we might have celebrated on the beach.
Right.
After that.
Okay.
I think it was confirmed.
Okay.
From memory. Which is probably why I just like went out there and fizzed out after that and lost. Because I was just like, didn't even give a fuck anymore.
Nah.
And I remember Tommy Wick was coaching me and he's like, mate, you could still go and win this thing. Like, go and do it.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know. I just was like, that was once again back to that, like, I was such an in the moment person. Like, even with free surfing and that, like, if I'm not in the moment, I'm not even fucking in the question.
Sure.
I have to be like so present with what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
I even remember in school and shit, like if I wasn't present listening to the teacher, I couldn't even tell you what the last word she said
Sure.
was.
Yeah.
That was me most days.
Yeah. You didn't make it. You didn't have shocker though. You still put up 13 points in the semi, but yeah, you had a tough heat. Joe Daru had a couple 8s. Griffin just got like 0.4 higher than you did. But yeah, didn't really matter at that point because you're on. What is that feeling like after searching for that long for it?
Oh, there was such a sense of relief.
Yeah.
I just remember like, I just sort of remember sitting back going like, oh my God, like finally I get to, and this is what I was thinking at that point. It's like, finally I'm in good ways.
Yes.
Like 40
Yeah.
But that's not really true, like you're in good ways if you make the sort of the quarters onward seeing in most events. Like, yeah, sure, there's that one rare event that fires the whole event, but like, where do you go on many surf trips where it's firing for 4 to 5 days? Like, it doesn't really happen like that. Even in Indo, like, there's definitely like, 2 days on a boat trip that are firing. The rest of it's like, yeah. And I think that's like one of those learning curves that when you go back after learning your hard lessons, that's probably like, all right, I just got to fight tooth and nail for a few days. Like, in this crappy Devil Wind J Bay or small chopes or shitty pipe, like, to get to that moment where anyone surfing shines.
Yeah.
If you want it, if you charge and you're hungry for it.
Yeah. And obviously you're on tour at this point, so we get into the next year. Again, as a rookie, tough to go on and start knocking down the front door with you getting these top seeds straight away every event. And you kind of had a similar year to your 2018 challenges on whatever it was, NWCrest season, where you made like heats, you were making heats, but you weren't like going deep into the draw. You were kind of just getting one here and there.
Yeah.
And then similarly, again, you get to the last 2 events and you have a 9th at Portugal, which kind of like, you're still a long shot, but you get into pipe again and you're like, oh, maybe in this thing, like, we're back on. and you make a couple heats. You actually have a really strong first round performance. I think you got nearly a 9 in that heat, in some pretty solid ways.
Yeah.
And then you make it into a round of 16 where you draw John Florence, and he does get you, but not in the way that most people would expect him to get you. It was a really shit heat, to be honest, like in terms of the scores. Neither of you got higher than a 3 or mid 3, I think. I think he had a 3.33. And then it came down to literally the last 20 seconds. You had priority and you needed a 2.8 or something. Yeah. And a wave came. Were you going, oh, I'm going to get him here?
Yeah. The whole heat, I had that confidence. Like, I've got him before.
Yeah.
I know this wave well enough to like pick the eyes out of it, even in these shitty conditions.
Yeah.
And I was like kind of laughing at myself going, just this typical, like me just leaving it to the last minute.
Yeah.
Like always the way. In terms of like the year and whatnot. And then, yeah, like I think I saw that set coming and I was just like, yes, like there's going to be a chance. And I remember just sitting there for like 15 minutes or whatever that counted down because it was so bad, going like, just give me one shot. Like I've got it if you give me the shot, you know, like please. And just I can't remember how it went down. I think it was just the wave crumbled on me or something happened. Yeah.
It looked like a nice one. And then as you got in, it was real ribbed out and it had some crumble and it did stretch out a little bit. If it was clean, like you're probably getting spat out of it. But it was just that moment in the heat you had to go and couldn't pop out the end. And that was your time on tour for 2019 and where we find ourselves now. What did you do after that?
Well, so I dropped off and I sort of had that year to reflect, or had the end of the year to reflect on whatever. And I was obviously gutted and just like, I was burnt out to say the least. Like it'd been a big year. I'd been a big few years getting there. And I kind of was just like, I think anyone would vouch for this, like that's done the tour, is like, you just, especially I think the guys at like their first year and whatnot, you just almost feel as though you're so out of control in terms of like how much you're doing and like where you're going and what you're doing. And like, you got to organize this and then you're off to there. And I was actually talking to Cal about it recently in the surf and I was just like saying like, fuck, you got to find those moments, like meditate or something, okay? And he was like, yeah, fully, like,
yeah.
And he's had a sick run now. Like, it's just like, he's finding those moments where I'm sure he's slowing it down. And like, I remember just sort of like being so burnt at the end of the year that I just went fishing and just had the rest of the year off. And obviously was like looking at going and doing the first event for the Challenger.
Yeah.
That next year in 2020, which was in New Zealand, and then bang, COVID happened. And I kind of had a sense of relief. I kind of remember just going like, fuck, thank God. Like I'm not ready. Like, I don't know why, but I just didn't want to, I just wasn't ready to go and compete. And I was stoked. And I was actually, at the time when I found that out, I was with Zach scarring, fishing somewhere. And I think just in the Tweed River, we were just like having a day hanging out, and that, it was pretty trippy where like that whole COVID thing kind of popped up. Like it was just like, what's this?
Full factory reset.
Yeah.
Alt control delete.
Yep.
I'd like to know, so you spend 2014 to 2018 trying to qualify. You obviously qualify, which is the pinnacle of the sport. That's what everyone's trying to do who's competing. What were some of the lessons that you learned from the year on tour?
I think for sure, like when I look back at the years and the times that I'd done well, I was very like present within myself. I didn't have a coach like kind of like to lean on or to bounce off. Like I did the year I qualified, like Tommy Witz was there, but then I feel as though I almost got to the point where like, it's not his detriment, it's mine. I was almost leaning too much on him and too much on Caney and my dad, and like not taking responsibility for myself and like my boards. And I think one other thing, I probably rode QS boards on the CT. Like,
right. Yeah.
It's not uncommon for me to paddle out in the surf at 4 to 6 foot Lennox now on a 6.6.
Yes. Yeah.
And my normal board's a 6.0.
Yeah.
And it still portrays, like I just dropped a YouTube clip today and 90% of it, it's just like a B-sides crappy stuff from Indo that I was just at HTs. And 90% of the waves that I'm riding in HTs, I'm riding a 6.6.
Yeah,
If
right.
you go watch it, like plug.
Yeah. No, check it out.
It doesn't look like a 6.6. And I think that like that would have been a big factor. Like it draws your surfing out. It makes you look like a much more of a man, even though you may not be. Like, and maybe I wasn't ready for that much board at that age. Like,
Yeah.
or like, cause I've put heaps more weight on since then. I filled out, but yeah, between, you know, not sort of holding myself accountable for my own decisions completely, and probably at board selection. And that kind of comes with age. You sort of just reflect, and like you just look at Connor now, like he's in a whole new element in his tour surfing.
Yeah.
Like Jack and like all these guys, they were all like, I remember when we were on the QS, like with Jack, like he couldn't even make a heat, and now he's in the questions for titles. The same with Ethan. Like you just grow and you learn, and you sort of become really confident with your own decisions. And I reckon that's the difference between like world champions and guys that sort of either do or don't like stay or make the tours. Like it's just, they're like, they know exactly what they want to do.
Yeah.
And no one else, like there's no coach in the world that, or like dad or manager or anyone that shaper that can like make that opinion. Yeah, sure, they weigh in on your opinion, but like you're the last say.
Yeah.
That makes perfect sense, because if you look at who's running for the title this year, they're all, what, 30?
Pretty much. Well, Miggy Poopo, he's well into his...
And what I meant to say by 30 is mature.
Yeah.
Like it feels like, or it's sounding like you got to kind of walk the road for a bit, learn a few things, and then make the charge then, rather than just come in and guns blazing. And I think probably why we saw Ethan, you know, fall short a few times as well. Like come in probably guns blazing and didn't quite get there. And now he's probably learning what, you know, Italo and Medina and stuff are learning. They learned 3 years ago.
Yeah.
So it'd be interesting to see. But yeah, that makes complete sense.
Yeah. We get into we call it your big wave era beyond that. And you brought up Zach Skyring before. Zach's got a message from him that he teed up that he just wanted to read out, and you would know this obviously, but just for the listeners, you did butcher reading it to me before. So
I did really butcher reading it to him before, so hopefully for everyone's ears out there, it's a little nicer. But I will ask one question first. Was it hard to hang the Rashi up and go, you know what, I'm done?
Yeah, to some degree for sure, because I kind of was on the fence for like a little bit too, you know, like there was a year there, so like obviously like COVID kind of factory reset deal did that, and then I sort of had a year probably whenever that we all sort of started to get to move around and do our thing with 22 maybe. And I was like going and doing a few of those regional events, and I got a result or two in Indo, and I sort of was like half in, half out. And that probably was a detriment, because like if you're 100% in, you probably can do it. Like you believe in yourself, even if your surfing isn't good enough, the belief is what gets you there. And my belief wasn't there. Like, not that I didn't believe in my surfing, but more so like I didn't believe in the system. Like I was sort of just jaded and over it. Which was the worst space to be, because I just wasted a whole year of just like kind of like, oh, I'll go do this event. Oh no, I won't. I'll just go free surf. Fuck, you know, like that's, just make a decision up.
Yeah,
I can do this or do that.
Yeah.
So yeah, you know, like it was a little hard to hang it up, because it's a scary thought of like going and trying to reinvent yourself and do something different. It's like a lot of guys sort of stumble on that moment.
Well, it's your identity.
Yeah,
like that's all you've spent a decade trying to get to that position, and then to just go, oh, I'm done with it, is definitely daunting.
Yeah, for sure.
And it sounds like this moment helped you, the moment I'm about to read, hopefully not fuck it up, kind of shaped for the next, well, until we, from this point onwards to where we are now, and what you're doing now. But so yeah, I asked Zach, your long time friend, I just said, oh, what have you got on Soli? What's something good that you've got there? And he gave me this story, which I absolutely love. And it says, we were driving back from a crazy fishing session up at the Great Barrier Reef. We had been out of reception for a few days. On this trip, we chatted about his contract, as it was the year it was coming up. And you said, fuck, I need something just to give me a guarantee to keep me doing what I'm doing. I remember we were about 2 hours into a 10-hour drive home. I just randomly jumped on Windy to see what the swell was doing at home, and I saw a massive swell going to cloud break. I remember I showed him whilst he was driving, and I saw his whole persona fully change. I swear he didn't speak for 10 minutes. Then he just started whistling. I don't even know if he knows this. Whenever he's something stressful or about to go, the cunt just starts whistling. I think it's his way of calming down. After some silence and the occasional whistle, I knew something was brewing. Then just goes something along the lines of, fuck it, I'm going. We got back late that night. Didn't hear from him for a couple days. Then I remember opening up Instagram. The first thing I see is that wave, that one that stopped scrolling. Everyone stopped scrolling as they watched it 100 times. And then that was the beginning of a monumental magic year that had secured what we had talked about on the fishing trip.
That's classic to hear that from his perspective. It's actually a really rad little story. I haven't heard it from that side of things.
Yeah.
And that kind of does resonate with me. The silence and the whistling. That's me just being.
Don't play poker. If you go shit in, he's just over here going, your life's good, ain't it?
Yeah.
Call the bluff.
Or do.
Yeah.
Now everyone knows.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck. Yeah, I mean, and that's a perfect example of like recreating a career. Like you got to know that like at some point it doesn't, like it's gonna end, and if you want it to keep going, you've got to find ways to fucking create it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm really fortunate to have really good friends and a beautiful partner and family that has always supported what I've done and whatnot. And like I've been with my partner for 13 years and she's put up with so much shit running across the world. Like the last 3 months has been nuts. I've been home probably like a weekend at a time, spread between 3 months or 4 months.
Wow.
And I actually just did a turnaround from Mexico and then went on a maps trip, flew 24 hours back. And I was like, oh, I don't know if I'm going to do this maps trip. I'm kind of need. She's like, so you're going. Like, go. And that's sort of what free surfing's all about. You just got to find those moments and seize them, you know?
What was in those 10 minutes of silence and whistling? Were you just like, fuck, like I
spiraling.
don't
Completely spiraling. It's like, you know, you're probably just like, fuck, oh, all right. It's going to looks pretty big. Like, fuck, Fiji. I don't even have a big enough board. I don't have unpack vest. I don't have inflation. Like, shit, is it going to be that big? Like, all right, like, who can I call? Like, and that's what it was. It was literally, I'm guessing that's probably where my head was going. Like, I couldn't tell you where it was. Maybe I was just completely just being a weirdo and not even thinking about anything. But my guess is that I was probably thinking about like having to organize all that to do it, to pull the trigger, which, you know, like I ended up calling up the lads down there at Surfboard Empire that helped me out with Luke's boards, LSD, and Luke didn't have any big boards laying around or know of any that he'd shaped anywhere in our vicinity. So I ended up grabbing a Padillac Pizel from the rack at the Goldie store there. And it was so fucking not my dimensions. It was like 20 and a half wide, like it was like, I've got big boards shaped now, like 9.0s and sort of 10.0s and stuff. And like my 10.0 isn't even as thick as this board I rode in
full canoe.
Yeah, it was a complete canoe, but it's kind of mental. Like,
yeah,
it was a rad board. Like, obviously got me into that dream wave, and I've decided to hang it up. She ain't getting ridden again.
Unreal. So it's on the wall.
Well, it's not hanging on a wall yet. It's still in the rack, but it's not getting pulled out.
Unreal.
Unless. Yeah, it's not getting pulled out.
Unless.
Episode 2. Is it like, obviously for you moving forward, that was a way for you to continue getting back to do this. Is that, because for me, that's absolutely terrifying seeing that swell rolling up the Fiji and going, oh, I'm going to go chase it. Is that terrifying for you, or is that something you get excited for?
Oh, look, I think it's terrifying to some degree.
Yeah.
I definitely get excited about the idea of it.
Yeah.
And I've kind of always used this my whole life. And Dad was actually the one that sort of like did it breaking it right back to like Lennox Point. First time I ever paddled out at Lennox, and I was shitting myself at fucking however old I was, you know, 8 or years old or something. And he's like, mate, let's just walk down the hill and see how scary the rock jump off is.
Yeah.
Look, it's not that bad. Let's just jump off and go and paddle out and see what like it looks like out the back.
Yeah.
All right, you're out the back. It's like breaking it all down into like smaller pieces rather than looking at that one big picture.
Yeah.
Is kind of like what I've always used. And like the idea of going to Fiji and getting that wave as one big hole, it's too overwhelming. Like there's no way you could like think that that's actually a reality, let alone like you want anything to do with it. But like that moment in the car was like one of those moments I was breaking it down, like going like, oh, all right, let's get some boards organized and, you know, like all the equipment that I need to like potentially put myself in that position. And that's what I thought about then. And then it was like, all right, let's go. Let's get a filmer. Let's, you know, get a buddy to travel with, which Jai came along on the trip, Glindo. And then, yeah, that night before, I remember it was like a pretty crazy moment. It took a lot to like hype up. I remember laying in bed, like tweaking out, thinking like, fuck, this is going to be massive tomorrow. And I'd sort of unhingedly said, I'm willing to die for a crazy one tomorrow. Like, I fucking am going. Like, that was me just self-talking myself, like, you know, like,
yeah.
I just want, and that iconic Bruce Irons wave where he's in that one, like, through the shish kebab section or the outer reef version of that, and he's on that big red or pinky red looking board, and it's just it's scarred in probably most of our generation's memories, but like it was 100% scarred in mine. And I remember seeing that back in the day when I was a teenager going like, I'm gonna one day ride a wave like that. Like I want a wave out there. And that was sort of me like that night just being like willing to die for that tomorrow.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's fucking incredible.
That's scary.
There's not many sane humans that looking at the ceiling fan going, I'm good to go tomorrow.
Yeah. And it wasn't for like any other reason other than like, you know, like just wanting to ride that. I don't even know if I care to ride another one. Maybe I probably do, but like I'm definitely satisfied as well. Like, it's just ticking that box solely for my surfing myself. And that's sort of the way I surf now is like, I'm not really doing it for any other reason. I did it, the whole competitive thing for years for like reasons, you know, for other people, for myself. And now it's just like, you know, doing it for the reason we all do it for is because we love fucking surfing.
Yeah.
And then, sorry, you go.
I was going to say, talk us through the wave. Was it one that you'd been sitting and waiting for, you'd been in position for, or was it sort of spur of the moment, like popped up?
So I actually like rode a few waves to get used to the board. They were big waves that didn't barrel. And I was like, all right, I've ridden waves. Like I know the board's sweet.
Yeah.
Like, let's go and sit and wait for a doozy. Waited all the way to the top of the chain, like first priority, kind of even like sort of semi-battling, just like to say like, no, I'm here. I'm fucking getting one. Like, always chill out.
Yeah.
And I went a sick one. Like it was a fun wave. It was like a small, short version of my good one.
Yeah.
Just like chipped in, sort of rolled in, and then like went mental on the inside bowl. And I remember like super stoked on that. And like, but also like I knew that wasn't the one that I wanted.
Yeah.
And I was sort of annoyed because it's like an hour wait.
Yeah.
And I also knew that the tide was getting low and the peak of the swell was right around this window. And I was like, fuck, back out there. Like it's in that window, like 11 o'clock or whatever. I've got to like try and put myself back in a position for something mental.
Yeah.
And I was just super lucky that like, that was like a 10th priority wave. It doubled up underneath everyone. Nathan Florence was on the wave behind it, which broke out where he was. It was just like, which is probably why it did what it did. It just had swelled up so much and doubled up that it went under a lot of the guys that were in first positions.
Yeah.
And I remember like Shay Slater from Fiji and like Billy and all that, they were a bit further out and they were paddling for it and none of them could get it. And they both screaming, Soli, go, go, go. And I was just like, just scratched over the edge of it. And the rest was history.
And then you pair that up with a bit of parkway driving, Conehead, And I was just sitting there as fucking full stiff. Just best song, best clip ever, that drone angle.
Oh man.
Is there a point in the wave where you kind of like the anxiety and like the fear of like actually getting into the wave and making the drop turns into like anxiety of like, I've got to make this thing now, like I'm in its perfect spot? Or is
I mean, there was definitely the moment, like I was so deep in it, there was definitely plenty of moments where I'm like, fuck it, any moment this shocky could just stretch a tiny bit more and I'm going to be fucked. Like, it's over. Like I may actually be dying today. But at the same time, like it was like this like bliss kind of like just mesmerizing psychedelic trip that just like, it was just so perfect and like just kept going and like the foam bowl was there, but it wasn't there, like it was just, was very unique, very special and a wave of a lifetime, really.
Full time machine moment.
Yeah.
it just seemed like you were perfectly matching the pace of the wave. Like you were in the pocket where it needed to be, but it was just running at the same speed that you were. And then out you come. Pretty special.
And then, so yeah, let's just quickly touch on Conehead, which is word of the day for the Largo studio. Then you go down to Shippies and just go, well, if you weren't paying attention now from the cloud break section, here I am at Shippies. What's Shippies like? Because I've got no desire to surf it. None.
Yeah.
The step looks fucked.
Yeah. I completely would like backhand out there doesn't, no. If I was a goofy footer, it's not happening.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on, but it's also like, it's like the most perfect, imperfect wave I've ever surfed.
Right.
I've such a like love for that wave. Before that wave, I'd fallen in love with it years ago, like and hadn't even had a crazy one out there. Just had a bunch of really good waves and just a sick community of people down there that all have that same passion for it.
Yeah.
It's a surf trip that I'll do till I can't surf waves like that anymore. Regardless of professional surfing. But yeah, it's no joke. It's a fucking heavy wave for sure.
It's fucked. Like it gives you this chip in and you're like, okay, no worries. And then it just goes square with 11 steps in it. And if you make that, then happy days.
Yeah.
You can have it.
Yeah. I think that's probably part of it. It's just like that like the imperfectness of it is what makes it so nuts.
Yes.
But at the same time, like it sort of feels like a 4-footer when you're paddling in to some degree.
Yeah.
Or like a 6-footer. If you're paddling into a 6 or 8-footer off the takeoff, that's a big fucking like it's gonna turn into a proper nugget. Like
they're just lumps of swell.
Yeah.
Not actually waves yet. And then when it hits the reef, it's like I've spent a bit of time at South Oz and the slabs down there are the same. It's this dark bit of water and you're just like, oh yeah, it's just a blob. And then it just goes, and you just fucking crying.
Are you hitting bottom out there?
Oh yeah, for sure you can. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I find that like I've never towed a wave out there. I definitely have that on the cards. Like I'd love to tow one, but up until this point I haven't. And I feel as though where you paddle and if you fall, you generally fall in a spot where like it's not as detrimental. Yeah. I'm sure it could be, but like
do you mean like this? That's not falling, that's fucking dying. That's falling from the sky head first.
Yeah.
Like maybe a bit deeper off the takeoff or something. Maybe.
Yeah, you sort of fall like if you fall where like Laura Anaver fell on that wave. Yeah. Where she fell on the step, it's sort of like that's where you're really starting to play with fire.
Worst case.
Because you're falling with the wave. The energy of the wave, it's driving you into the reef. I'm sure that like when you watch back to the wave that Mark's broken his legs there on, I can't remember it specifically, but I'm sure he probably fell close to that like step where you fall with the wave, and like that's.
It's like the safe zone is a meter that way, but if you're a meter shy, you're in the fucking construction site.
Yeah.
And
then obviously falling off the takeoff, that's the other thing that really fucking like that's a shit spot because you get pinballed, like, especially on the swell directions that we'd love to go down there on. Like, it's really pushing in, like, towards the rocks. So, like, all that energy and water's just going, like, against the rocks. And so you fall, you come up, next thing you know, there's a tow wave, and then you're getting pinballed like a fucking bowling ball straight through, like, the boulders. And
Ugh.
It sounds really enjoyable.
Yeah.
We should go there.
You missed me with that one, buddy. That's not happening.
Speaking of falling, let's talk about what happened in Hawaii. So you have the injury. Talk us through the injury.
Yeah.
It's nearly stopped it all.
It pretty much nearly stopped it all. And this is coming off the back of what we've just spoken about. The crazy sand bottom point that I'd got with the Maps to Nowhere crew and Surfline and O'Neill. The Fiji wave, the Shippies wave, and a whole heap of other amazing things that year. It was hands down the best year I'd ever had in my life, regardless of surfing or not. I got engaged. I'd been snowboarding in Japan. I'd been doing fishing trips with mates on the Barrier Reef, Zach, and had like just one of those years where like I was even saying it like, holy shit, like fucking things are just happening this year. So sick. Like I was just blown away. Nothing could go wrong, to the point where like Lippy, the boat captain of the Mango, was calling me Teflon. And
Lippy.
yeah, Lippy. He's a good
Lippy.
lad.
We'll leave it at that.
Yeah. Anyway, and yeah, trickled into the next year into Hawaii, February. Feeling good, getting amazing waves, surfing a couple waves at Pipe and here, there, and everywhere. A 3-week bender of like 6 to 10 foot waves every day. Like it was just fucking pumping. Pretty much as tired as you can get, but like still had that attitude of just like go, go, go.
Yeah.
Not like that learning curve of like, hey, you're pretty exhausted. You've been on a crazy one. Chill out.
Yeah.
Which dad and family said, hey, just take it easy. Like, you know, chill. You don't need to keep going as hard as you have been. And I was like, fuck, whatever. Doesn't matter. And that's sort of what I put it down to, like a bit of a ego thing, like not like an arrogant, like I'm killing it, just like I'm killing it. Like I want to keep
the roll going.
Keep the roll going.
Yeah.
Like, but at some point it's got to stop, and it stopped in the worst way you could ask for, really.
Yeah. And what was the injury? It was.
So yeah, the injury was I'd herniated a disc, which is a lot of people can live with a herniated disc.
Yeah.
There's like different variations of it. But mine was like centrally herniated. So it was, instead of it like protruding against a nerve in my like shoulder, which you'd get like a lot of shoulder pain or arm pain and that.
Yeah.
It was against my spinal cord. So like it had been pushed against it, and it was protruding so much that it compressed my spinal cord to about as much as it can be compressed before it snaps.
God.
So if it had have got pushed a little bit more, the risk of snapping your spinal cord, and at that level, that was quadriplegic.
Right. So this is in your neck, right?
Yeah.
So if it snaps, it's anything below where it snaps. So yeah, if it's snapping at your neck, you lose your function of your arms and your legs, which is fucked up.
And they were tripping when I'd gone. I had the fall in Hawaii. I actually managed to like function for a few days with the pain in my neck, but because it wasn't like I wasn't having symptoms in my arms and legs. Got home to Australia and like was like fucking still complaining about it. And I got on a roller like with a tennis ball and like trying to like, you know, fix your issues. It must have aggravated it. Thank God it was in a safe environment, not like surfing.
Yeah.
A couple of days later. To the point, it aggravated it to the point where I had like pains in my arms and my legs, like feeling like metal rods were sticking through my arms and legs.
God.
That was at night after the rolling. And then the next morning, like 3 a.m, I was just like, oh, I can't even move. Try to get up and like get on with my day, to the point where, and then like 15, 20 minutes of trying to do that, I just was on the ground in excruciating pain and called an ambulance and then off to the hospital. And then that's when I knew it was bad when the neurosurgeons were like coming in, tripping out, like there was like, because my missus works in the hospital as a physio, and she was sort of like talking me through like what who all these people were. It wasn't just like a doctor and a nurse. It was like fucking the top surgeons coming in, like kind of like they were sort of tripping. At one point they sort of were like, we don't know how you're still walking, and we also don't know if you'll ever be able to surf again.
Oh,
like they were throwing out crazy calls like that, which I guess it's sort of like at that point, they probably didn't fully know what was going on either.
Yeah.
But
How do you respond to that?
I kind of just sort of like sat there silent and started whistling and then started crying.
Yeah, right.
The old cry whistle.
Yeah.
Favorite. Most showers are cry whistling.
Yeah. But I broke down. Once they all left the room, it was just Alex and I just broke down. I was just so baffled. Even like the thought of just trying to fight back from that was scary enough, let alone like the fact that it was like potentially all over at that point. After the year I just had, or after the life I just had surfing. Fuck.
Yeah.
Did they immediately, like, did they have a course of action for it? Did they know what they had to do? Or was it kind of like, because of how sensitive that area is?
Well, this is where I sort of like come to learn, because I was in the public system, which is amazing.
Yeah.
The fact that we have that public system, but I was a little bit frustrated in the fact that like they weren't like, oh, it's an emergency. Like once they'd worked out it was an emergency, I could live and go to work as a normal citizen.
Yeah.
And work like a cafe job or something, and potentially live with what I had. But if I got in a severe enough car accident or fell or was a footy player, like that's where the like you can't surf again came from.
Right.
Like there was a chance, a small chance that it could go further and you're cooked, which to me seems like an emergency surgery.
Yeah.
But to them, it was like, oh no, you can go and live your life as a normal barista or bartender. Like, I don't want to be fucking normal. Like no one does. Like you want to do what you want to do, you know, like even regardless of a normal job that you go to do 9 to 5, I still want to go surfing with my kids and snowboarding and like do it for myself. Like there's no way that's a normal life. Like, and there was a chance as well that it may have gone back into place, which they were talking about with some bit of work, which is why 3 months went down the track and I was hoping and rehabbing, trying to make that happen. But it was just so bad that after 3 months went back and they were like, nah, hasn't moved one bit. And I was feeling pretty good. I was like training and I actually nearly even surfed. If it wasn't for Alex being like, no, you're a fucking idiot. You're not going surfing.
So then what did they do 3 months in?
3 months in, they were like, oh, we'll wait another 3 months. I'm like, I'm going to get some more opinions.
Yeah.
And like I'd gotten another opinion outside of the public system prior, and they're like, yeah, you should wait 3 months. There's a chance it could resolve itself. And after that, I went and got more, and I found this surgeon that was a professional sprinter, then a physio, and then a neurosurgeon. And he got me. He understood that like, I wanted back. Like I wanted back. I don't want to live this shitty fucking like miserable life that I was living. Like it was like, I was just stuck inside. Like I wasn't really allowed to do anything that I love doing. Like, regardless of the career I had, like I just wanted to be able to go for a surf.
Yeah.
And there was a way out of that. So that was it. Surgery.
Wow.
Surgery, another 3 months sort of thing. So it was pretty much like all in all, maybe 10 months.
Fucking hell.
Yeah.
It's quite a high risk surgery, I'm assuming too.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Which is why they don't just rush into it.
Yeah.
They try and
They
make
don't
it fall back into place naturally.
Yeah, because it's like, there's big risk around it. Like obviously they do a lot of them, but there are like the risks they rattle off were pretty, I was like, whoa, fuck.
Sign here.
Yeah, literally.
Sweet. Thank you.
Yeah.
Wow. That's fucking incredible. Yeah. So how long ago was that? What, a year now?
It's sort of like, it was October last year that I sort of paddled out on a surfboard for the first time. So
I think we saw you at Northball.
Yeah.
You were coming.
Sharp.
And
Yeah.
Was it Sharps or Northball?
Yeah, that would have been like a few weeks into surfing, like maybe November or something.
Oh, you were fucking happy as Larry.
Yeah,
Big
yeah,
smile.
yeah.
And I remember
the waves
it because
were terrible.
waves were fucking. We're like, you get a couple. You're like, it's fucking unreal. We're like, this cunt serious? What? And then you were like,
smoking?
that was your second surf. And we're like, oh fuck, now we know why. When it was like the
awful Northall, and we're like, seem like sweet. And I'm like, oh, that'd be it.
Yeah,
well, he's fucking on cloud 9.
Yeah, but ever since I've been like that. I mean, yeah, sure. Like the surfing really crappy waves have slowed up a little bit because I've had the opportunity to surf better waves now, and but like it really put into perspective, like, and like just typical life learning curves. Fucking got to make the most of every moment, eh?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, it's funny you say that. That's similar lines to Vaughan Blakey in that very
Yep.
chair yesterday.
Yeah,
I
100%.
think we need to, take action on that.
Yeah, exactly right. Go sell shippies.
Yes.
Yeah.
We'll just go to shippies right now. But now you're fortunate enough that you get to travel the world and be a free surfer. What's some of the, if you had to give some advice to someone who is a young Soli, 14 years of age right now, trying to do what you're doing, what would you say to them?
Like, I mean, just follow your dreams to start with. Like whatever your passion is, like competitive, free, surfing, just do what you love most and just don't alter for anyone's opinion.
Yeah.
That's like first and foremost. But you know, like it's a journey. Like there's a lot of work behind free surfing that I didn't sort of see. Like all these guys that have been killing it for years, you know, your Noahs and Creeds and all the lads that have been doing it, like for like Dane, for an example, or Craig. Like there's method behind the madness. Like you know, there's such a strategy behind like content output, and it's fun in the sense of like you're just doing what you love. You're chasing waves and locations that you want to go and do. Like you're not strictly regimented to like some specific location for an event and like a time frame. Like you're generally chasing some of the best waves all over the world, which is fucking sick.
Yeah.
But yeah, like the behind the scenes is tricky. Like you gotta really put the work in. You gotta, you know, create content that people want to see.
Yeah.
And if you're not doing that, you're not doing your job right.
Yep.
I feel like Dane disguises. He kind of comes across in the media and like in his social media, you know, how he produces himself online, that he's like mindlessly just going about it, and it'd be the opposite. Like there's cogs turning up there that are.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know him personally. Like I've never really spent any time with him, but I can't imagine that. Listen, like, I mean,
the success.
It'd be pretty rich to say the cogs aren't turning. Yeah. Like he's
switched on.
He's switched on. I mean, fuck, they're running a really well successful business now. Like they know what they're doing. Like
absolutely.
And like everyone, like, and yeah, sure, it's just like it's an image of like just a bit of a chilled, laid back thing. But that's kind of why I guess you all fall into that surfing. Free surfing thing is it is chilled and laid back in the sense of like you are picking and choosing what you want to do.
Yeah.
Versus like getting really fit because you got to go surf really bad Huntington.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
And if you're not doing that, you're probably not doing well on that tour. You know?
And yourself, you've obviously got a sponsor that allows you to do that financially. I'm sure they're scratching your back, which is unreal. You get to travel the world with them as well, not just use their money and go create something, go, hey, do you want to jump on this? You're actually collaborating with them on like Maps to Nowhere and things like that.
For sure.
You've also fortunate enough to now have your own sunglasses coming out, hey, with Child Eyewear, which we've got in the studio up here. Talk us through how that come about.
Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, I've been so fortunate to be able to work with such cool companies over these years. And recently I've John Loro and Tim, which he's sort of come on. He's always been a big part of it, but he's sort of the main guy now, like that's down in Sydney. And we designed these. I designed these with John maybe 6 months or a year ago. And yeah, it's just like kind of just like a little sunny brand that you know, it's kicking off as everyone's sort of kicking something off these days and trying to get some new brands into the industry. And yeah, there's a really cool team now. We've got
team's rad.
Yeah, we've got Connor and Ross Clark Jones and I think don't know if it's out yet, but
we can bleep it if not. But
joined up and Josie's been on board for a long time and
Juniper as well.
And your boys as well.
We weaseled our way on there.
We
weaseled our way onto that program too.
Sick. I just found that out today, so that's mental. Like, you know, and really that's all it is. It's just a community of people that love what we do and you know, just trying to create something and be a little bit like just a fun venture, you know.
Speaking of that, there's SOLI TV.
SOLI TV.
And is that because it's like it's life through your kind of lens? Like they're made for fishing, surfing, anything lifestyle.
Yeah.
Where did it come from?
Well, John kind of come up with a name. He sort of just threw it out. Like he was like, SOLI TV, I reckon that's, and I kind of thought, sat on it, I'm like, yeah, fuck, that's pretty sick. Like, I guess it's, you know, you put your lens on, it's through your eyes, and that's it. You kind of, you just fucking, that was pretty much my whole thing with designing these is like, I have like a really like red hot fishing sunny that I wear a lot, which you probably wouldn't wear in the street day to day.
Sure.
They're, you know, big goggles with reflected lenses. And like some people love that, but I would rather like wear something that's a little more on the style side of things day to day. So like we're going to try and do a set of these that have got a reflected lens with the glass down the track. But, you know, it's just the coverage is there.
Yeah, so the sides are a bit wider. So because a lot of light does come in through the sides. And I've learned that as well. Like you have a day and just absolutely zoinked, and it's because, you know, the sides, the arms, I think they're called, aren't thick enough.
Yeah.
So you're sorted with those.
Yeah, there's still a little bit of light gets in, but for the most part, they're really protective for like just your day-to-day wearing on the beach, surfing, and then obviously I spend a lot of time on the water fishing when I get the chance, and that's sort of where you really notice a good pair of sunnies.
Yeah.
They're polarized?
Hey?
Polarized as
Yeah,
well?
these are. Yeah, there's ones that are polarized, there's ones that are not.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, like obviously I haven't like got it down to the nitty gritty, but there's different sort of lenses that'll cut through water differently for like the fishing side of things. But that's sort of like to come down the track.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's it like to have your name on it too?
Yeah. I mean,
I've
I've never
first kind of product you've had your name on it, like a collaborative.
pretty
product?
much. I think I've done like a deck grip and a fin before, but like, yeah, this is sort of like one of the, to actually have your name there and like, and to have a really big part to do with the design side of things as well.
Yeah.
And that was kind of like the whole beginning of the reason behind it. Like I love the idea of like being a part of something and having a lot of input, and you know, John sort of gave me that opportunity.
That's why we jumped on as well, because the team's pretty well 2478 or 2481. I'm so like, you know what? It's people we hang with and see all the time. We love the sunnies.
Yeah.
Makes sense. I've been rocking the entries. They're absolutely phenomenal. So a big shout out to Child for helping us out as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
We'll add a little link in the show notes below where they can go and get a pair of those.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But should we get into some listener cues? Have you got anything else that you wanted to bring up?
Well, I do, but I reckon the listener cues.
I've got some stuff on Maps Nowhere, but everyone has stuff on Maps Nowhere, so we might as well just jump into listener cues now.
Have you got more rods or more surfboards?
That was by Verno.
Yes.
Jeez, it'd be getting close to both now. I reckon Alex would have something to say about that. There's definitely more rods, but they're probably fighting each other. There's surfboards hiding in containers and roofs here, there, and everywhere. So there's probably still more surfboards, but I reckon that's a close battle these days.
It's coming up.
And they're things that you accumulate and you don't really offload. They just build.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah.
You very rarely get rid of either of those.
No.
Criminal.
Yeah. Empire Ave. Have you got a favorite Jeremy Biles story or even just a Byron personality?
Fuck, there's a couple personalities kicking around there.
There's plenty of personalities in the Shire, like far out. We've definitely had a community of wildcats.
Yeah.
To grow up with.
Yeah.
I guess one of the craziest Jeremy Biles stories, which no one probably knows.
Right.
Is he's my fucking godfather.
He's your godfather.
He's actually my godfather. So my old boy and mum were pretty close with him when he was back. Like my old boy was traveling with him a little bit back on the tour, and like there's stories of him, which everyone's probably heard of him, you know, like getting blasted and falling out of buildings and surfing heats the next day and stuff like that. Like that's an iconic story that's been told by many people.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like back in the day, he and Dad spent a lot of time together, and he was my godfather. You know, he's had a tough road. Like he's made some really big mistakes, and he's taught the generation that you probably can't do that and become even a normal human
Do as I say, not as I do. Yeah. Me and Connor actually went skateboarding with him one afternoon.
Did ya?
Yeah, we were waiting for our table at Miss Margie's, and we saw him just having a hell time. And he's like, "Yeah, boys, jump on." It was one of those like smooth star ones, and yeah, no, it was a good story. Next question: will this blue steel pose translate into maximize SOLI TV sunglass sales? That was the photo I put up of you last night. I definitely reckon it will. That was by by Rock Yockies. This one's by the Mini Shuckers, coming out of Byram, Lehani Zorik. What are 3 bits of advice for a grom that wants to be better in bigger waves?
Break it down. We talked about it earlier. You gotta don't think about how scary it is in the moment, and think about like the problems that could come from the wipeout you have or whatever. And that's the biggest piece of advice. I think you just break it down. Don't just think it's too much. Go to the location, paddle out. It doesn't matter if you say it's too much for you that day. You can always, like, a bigger man or a bigger woman would be like, go and put the effort in, and then fuck, if it's too much for you, it's all good.
Yeah.
Just like, I've literally said that before. Like, I'm going in. It's too much for me. I'm sitting on a ski.
Yeah.
It's 20 foot and it's scary. Like, it's way too scary. I remember I was sitting on the ski with Russ Björk, watching him paddle some rather large waves, and I was just like, you know what, it's out of my league today.
Yeah, that's fair.
They were bigger. Put it this way, it was much bigger than the Fiji day.
Fuck me, I don't even want to know.
T7 Sean, how many waves of your life have you gotten? You seem to be bettering them like almost annually.
You have to pick one. Don't edge us. Don't care. Just on the fence.
This is going to knock out like 10 questions here. Yeah. I'm guessing it's going to be between your Maps Nowhere wave and your Cloudy wave.
Oh, fuck you. I'm going to edges. Fuck yous.
Been edging this that time.
No. Waves of your life change so much between like location. Like the Cloudy wave is 100% hands down the wave of my life. I don't think I could better that there in terms of like what happened, being my first ever wave that first swell I'd ever chased in that caliber of like place and whatnot. But you can't beat like the Sandbottom wave I had or the Shippies wave. Like waves of your life kind of like something that just come down to locations and moments. Lennox, like I could remember a wave of the life that I had at Lennox that location was special. But I mean, if you got to pick one, it'd be Fiji.
Yeah.
Good answer.
There you go.
Going left. That's good. This one's a really good question. Cam Duke 1. Who are some of the next gen of Indigenous kids that are shredding?
It's pretty awesome to see the generation that's like coming through. Obviously, Lungi's a fair bit younger than me, and he's just, to me, he's just doing it with style and grace and the way he wants, which is so rad. Lehani, which is just down the road, she's Broken Head, Suffolk Park. Local.
She is incredible.
And she is really a talent to be forced with. Like, she's a really, really, really good. Like, there's, all the odds to being
the makings are there. Right?
Makings are there, So, like they're two really incredible surfers that are coming through, and there's heaps more. Like I haven't done the Indigenous titles down in Bells or any of them for a few years, and I keep saying, I'm going to go and do one, one of these years I'll do it. And I'm sure that the generations are just growing.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, definitely. I know Taj Simon just won the Opens down there.
Yeah,
awesome. The Indigenous Aussie titles.
Yep.
Another one, Jagger Phillips.
Yes.
He's fucking killing it. Is it Stab High?
Yeah.
Shit like that.
Sick.
So yeah, plethora coming through, which is just so unreal to see.
There's one here from Buka McKern who, it's kind of an interesting question. I don't know if you have an answer to this, but do you have a limit on surf trips per year? Or is it very much just like Zone Hill's like, there's 12, we're going?
I think he means like contractually.
Well, yeah, like in terms of, like what they will fund you to do for it in a year.
I mean, contractually there's a limit on like my like a budget, travel budget, so to speak.
Yeah.
And generally, for the most part, the Maps to Nowhere stuff's been like 2 to 3 a year.
Yes.
Yeah. Does that come out of your budget or their marketing budget?
That comes that comes from their marketing budget to Surfline from them, sort of thing. It's like a collab. I think they sort of like, yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Well, that's even better. It hasn't come out of your.
Yeah. I'm psyched when I'm doing those trips. You sort of send me like, you're like, yes, I'm not spending my budget and I'm sort of making money there. Like,
Yeah. Fucking.
it's mental. Yeah. It's really, I feel really, really honored to be a part of those trips. Have been, obviously the locations are incredible and the idea behind it, but also, you know, the fact that it's sort of funded is insane.
Yeah. And yeah, again, be remiss of us to ask. So that right-hander, we had a question here from, I can't even find it right now, but someone saying, is it possible for you to get hyped over a 3-foot pit anymore after that?
It's definitely, like, I was laughing about this and sort of, we were chatting about it earlier today. It's really, it has kind of messed with me a little bit in that sense of like, there's a standard there now that's really just fucking warped me.
Yeah.
I definitely still get hyped over any pit.
Yes.
But I've constantly found myself questioning the lineup, the crowds, the quality of the wave. And I kind of got to like almost feel like, no, Sol, like you're still fucking in Mexico surfing a mental right point that's barreling with 40 or 50 guys. That's frustrating, sure, but you're still doing something rad.
Yeah.
It's not every day you get to fucking have a lineup to yourself that's the best sand bottom point you've ever seen in your life.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's really, it has, I won't lie, it's really fucking messed with me. I just want to go and do it again.
If you like climbing Everest and then having a buddy going, want to come climb Kosciuszko? It's like, fuck me, that's less than half.
Yeah.
It just doesn't tickle your fancy.
Is there a part of you that wants to go back, or do you think it would sort of take the shine off the first time you went there if you were to go back?
Every trip's different, so it wouldn't take the shine off, but it would be pretty hard not to compare.
Yeah.
That's kind of like answering that question before. Like, you got to sort of like pull yourself up and stop comparing to like that or that Fiji wave or this contest that you won. You just got to go and do the next one. Like life is like always a comparison, and that's such a bad trap to be in. Like comparing to what happened before. Like tomorrow's a different day.
Yeah.
You know?
Don't want to be boxed in.
I believe they say comparison is the thief of joy, which
Comparison is the
makes
thief
sense.
of joy. Wiggs B, how often does he play as himself on Barton Lynch Pro Surfing? I should have left it, how often does he play with himself? Just get a really truth bomb question out there.
Well, that
Is it as much as how much you play with yourself on Pro Surfing? Barton Lynch?
probably not. I've never actually played it. I haven't got a gaming console.
Right. So you haven't played it?
No.
You've played it.
Oh fuck! I'd love to whip it out. I'm fucking
100%.
go and smack a couple of fucking lips.
Yeah, definitely.
Sick.
Absolutely. No, it's like different. It's not the obviously grew up playing. Do you play Kelly Slater Pro Surfing?
Yeah,
I'm like Sunny Garcia. That's different to that. But yeah, it's I didn't even know you had a character on there, to be honest. I didn't even know I was playing. I was just the stock guy they gave us, but that's epic.
Yeah, years ago when Barton pulled it together, we like he was like, hit me up, and he was like, oh yeah, we got Yago and a few lads, and I was like, fuck, I'm gonna be on a video game. Sick. Like that's like, you know, like one of those notch things that you dream about when you're a little kid. Like, you know, you want to be in a cover magazine or freaking like movie part or whatever, like but that was probably one of the ones you'd think were going to be rarer because they don't come out every day.
Yeah, sure. A real I made it moment. I'm in a video game. It's pretty sick. Eddie Hamady has got one for you too. Does Soli miss that Psycho Hyundai XL? I don't, but
that's my first ever car.
Right.
Fuck, it was a piece of shit, but it was the best car ever.
There's heaps of memories in it.
Heaps of memories. Oh man, like I don't even know how my partner's parents even let me hang out with her.
Right.
It was the biggest, most death trap danger bomb with like shitty drawings all over it. My mates once drew like speciality like drawings on the side of it, and they just got stained on it because they like it was just like with part permanent pen deal. Like, Oh, it was bad. But I think I paid 10 months rego, $500 for the car, and the like it was like rego and the car was like the rego was more than the car, more than the car, and then I sold it with like 2 months rego to a tour in Byron for the same price.
Wow. So you did good out of it.
Yeah, I drove for a year. It was my first ever car, and I'm lucky to be alive after being, and everyone else that was in it too.
Sounds like if the free surfing thing dries up, then car salesman you are.
Yes.
You know it's a bomb when your mates are drawing on it and no one really cares. You know, it's like I've had some bad cars and I'm just like, I still wouldn't want someone to draw on it. But yeah, the fact that you're getting some pretty graphic depictions on the side of it.
Yeah, there was ended up being drawings all over it. I think I finally scrubbed them off and maybe some white spray paint before it got sold.
Just to get just sellable.
Just sellable. But
amazing.
yeah, it was a proper bomb.
Bo Broadhurst 11. What's been your favourite maps to nowhere trip?
The Sandbottom Point. Yeah. I mean the right and the left, but the right, I'm a natural footer. Like you can't. Oh yeah, you're not going to choose a right over a left.
You must be so sick of cunts just going, where is it? Are you going to tell me where it is? Mate, I'll buy you a beer.
Oh, I mean, honestly, the crew that asked me now, I'm like, geez, you don't know where it is? Like, I'm sure, like, the world kind of knows to some degree.
You look hard.
Unfortunately,
I don't think it matters because, like, who really, like, now we know where it is.
Yeah.
I'm not fucking Googling the next swell. Like, it's so far away. It's so much effort. It's not like a little fucking coolie flight, land there in 6 hours and bon voyage. It's like, even though like the world knows it, it's still not going to get flogged.
And you've said people have been back and it hasn't been as good since, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, that's the factor. Like you got sand to consider, a shitload of money to spend.
Yeah.
Swells are never guaranteed.
Yeah.
And it's just like, you know, like there's a reason that it hasn't been surfed much prior and been like exposed much in the world at all. Just because it's not really, it's a ghost. Like there's waves all over the world. There's waves close to home that are ghosts. Like you see them break every 5 or 10 years, you know, and that's, I mean, I don't have a lot of knowledge on it, but that's what it's seeming like. Like there's been a few times that crew have gone and surfed it and it hasn't even remotely been close to what we saw, which is even makes it cooler that we were that lucky.
Yeah. Yeah. On that day as well, on like that, when you got your good one, was there many ways, like, were they all really makeable? Or was a lot of straight ones you're pulling in, you kind of don't know if you're coming out or not?
No, so yeah, there was 3 days, or there was 4 days of swell, like by the end, and then the lead up to it, there was 4 days of like crap, and it kind of got better and better. The bank got better and groomed, and the day that I got that really crazy, like warped out, hectic one, was sort of like the beginning of it clicking into gear, like.
Sure.
Before that, there was like that morning, there was no makeable waves. It was really hard. The swell was building. There was like, it was sort of frustrating. There was boards getting broken left, right, and center. And I think that's what made that wave so unique in that sense of like, it just was like crazy and thick and warped and doubled up so bad is because the swell was building and it just made that like crazy sort of hecticness to it.
I watched it this morning just in preparation for this. I hadn't seen it since it did the rounds, you know?
Yeah.
And again, still as crazy as it was when I first watched it. But the friggin' chandelier that you had to punch through to actually get into it was just like, that would have knocked me for 6 already. Were you surprised when you came out and you're like, oh, I've got my line here still, like I'm going?
Yeah, well, that's the thing when you punch through chandeliers like that, generally you don't hold line.
Yeah.
Like you fall, like you'll drop, or you'll like go up too high and go up over in the lip.
Yeah.
I think, and riding waves that sucky are hard enough as it is.
Yeah.
So it was such a unique wave in that sense of like the chandelier and the imperfection in it to still make it. But I think I was just going so fucking fast and none of that shit mattered. Like I was just like it was like a blick second, like boom, through that thing. Oh my God, I'm still going. Like, yeah, maybe if it was perfect, it would have been harder because you would have been like tripping out more and like, just like, oh, what do I do? You know, whereas I didn't have a time to think. I was just like, it was just all instinct.
It seems like there was one line through that wave and you took it, I think. Like any slight movement from where you were probably results in you going over or whatever, and you just had the perfect line set.
Yeah.
Did you remember it afterwards? Because like, did you come out and go, what just happened?
Yeah. That like up until that point and growing up on Sandbottom points, like I'd never ridden a wave that had gone that freaking square,
Yeah.
and like obviously chandeliers and that making it harder, but it just bottomed out that gnarly and thickened up and squared up so crazy. Like I've seen waves at Cura and like waves up and down our coastline that have done that,
Yeah.
but I've never actually been on one. Like
Yes.
there's like one a swell,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and sometimes no one's even on it, and sometimes it's like your Dingoes Joels mix,
Yeah.
or like someone that's like kind of core local in those areas that have kind of got those waves. So to actually ride it, it was sort of like that was my claim, or whatever you want to call it. It wasn't even a claim. It was like the reaction of like, holy fuck.
You
what
look just confused.
what
Like,
just
how what
happened?
the fuck happened?
Yeah.
It was so good to
Yeah.
see. Like you just exactly right. You're like, holy, how would you even? You can't claim it because it doesn't feel real yet.
Yeah, exactly. It was like that I wouldn't even really call that a claim. It was like the claims on the beach. You're like, yeah, like,
Yeah.
what
Yeah.
the hell just happened?
Yeah.
That moment there was like, oh my god, like it's just
cool.
shocking. That just what on earth?
Show me the clip now. I need to see it. Do you just go straight in and just go to the film and show me?
Yeah, we celebrated, but I think I was just so fizzing. I just ran back up the plane again.
Yeah. And when it came out, it would have been like weeks after, right?
Yeah, maybe.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did the DMs just come in like, how the like, what the fuck? What
Yeah,
the fuck?
yeah. I had the clip on my phone and I'd leaked it to a few like close buddies or whatever. Like not even.
How
I don't
could
actually.
you not?
I don't think I actually leaked it because I was too scared. This day and age, it just goes from one person, next person. So I was struggling to not send it to someone.
Yeah.
Like I didn't send it to anyone. I just showed them on my phone, and crew were like, "Can I get it?" And nah. I remember Dad was like, "Can I have it?" Nah, not until it comes out. You know.
Were there NDAs and things in place, or
We said there were.
yeah?
That was like because my whole thing was after that trip. I actually like kind of like threw the call out there multiple times to Surfline and to O'Neill. Like, look, let's not put this out. Let's surf it for 5 years because I thought maybe this thing broke every freaking week.
Yeah.
You know, I'm like, let's surf this thing for 5 years. Let's get all of our team there and fucking like make the craziest shit you've ever seen, and then release it. Partly because I was selfish and didn't want the world to know what we just freaking stumbled across, or like most of the world. Some people already knew about it, but like not to that extent. But that wasn't happening.
No, fair enough. I think we'll have one last one because we know that you've donated quite a bit of time for us.
We've yarned for ages.
Thanks so much, man. Usually we had the little stumble in the middle where the
We had a little camera fuck up, but last one is Nate Spalding. Opinions of the current WSL situation. Is it fucked? What improvements would Soli make?
He obviously thinks it's fucked.
Yeah.
His words, not ours.
No,
Sorry, it was question mark. Is it fucked?
Oh, is it
Rather than it's not fucked, it's is it fucked?
Yeah. No, it's not fucked, but I think that like there's a reason why they keep changing it. They know that they're trying to evolve it. They're trying to get a bit more of a just the ASP days back in the day. It was new and it was fresh, and it was like this big wow factor, and it was the only thing in surfing, professional surfing. There wasn't really free surfing. There was a couple of like Margot and Rasta and that were around, but for the most part, that was like us kids would look at that and be like, oh my God, tour, you know, WSL, ASP. That's it. Whereas now there's so many avenues and there's so many like media outlets. I just don't think it has that same impact that it used to. But I don't know. What would you change? I'd probably make the tour smaller, which is really savage to say, but I'd make it so that you can run events in one day.
Sure.
And I'd probably just start like going to to locations for swells. Because really, like, I don't know, personally, I don't flick it on unless it's pumping.
Yeah.
Or unless there's someone I want to watch, or like I watched Snapper. It was pretty pumping the whole event. Didn't watch any of New Zealand. Haven't really watched any of Brazil. Yeah, like I don't know. I think
There's
for
a
the
lot
most
of downtime in there.
yeah, there's a lot of downtime. But when it's still scarred in my memory. The Chopes year that it was just firing, where I think Gabe won against Kelly, or
He like didn't fall the whole event. Eh?
Yeah. Like I was injured at that point, but I watched every second of that event because it was just firing the whole event. it sucks to say, but get rid of a portion of the tour, maybe split the boys and girls so you don't have like a bigger event, and just go to locations that suit. That's like chase big chopes, like chase crazy snapper, chase like I don't know. That's the way I
condensed and be highly mobile,
and maybe like turn over like the QS kind of like you can get in a bit easier. Like you know, if you're making the top half, you get in for an event.
Filter through a bit.
I don't know. Man, there's a million ideas and a million fucking opinions. They're doing a pretty good job considering there's a million opinions, and
we're still going, so they're doing something right, you know.
For now, it is for start.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Cheers.
That was incredible.
Thanks so much.
Thanks, lads. It was epic.